And the people said, Amen. Hello. Hi, guys.
Hey, y'all.
Hope you are all feeling good, feeling funky, and feeling fresh. Welcome to another episode of what we'd like to call the Receipts Podcast. The name is on the wall, people. What episode number are we on? Yes, and you guys were ill prepared. You can't get the staff now. At this point, we're going to need new hosts and new team. And welcome to episode 287 of the Receipts Podcast. Hi, everybody. It's your girl, Tolly T.
And just call me Audrey.
We have another announcement. You guys must be sick of announcements.
Everyday announcements.
Everyday announcements. And before we get into that, first, I just want to say thank you guys so much for all of your feedback, all of your support. And I've met people on road who's like, I'm going to apply. How do I apply? It's just been like really, really lovely about the news. We are so excited. But it's actually very, very important that I land a point. And the point I'm landing with you guys is that the Receipts is not winding down.
Yeah.
We're not going to the end of the year. In fact, quite the opposite. We plan on going off. Like, you know that's gone and I'm gone again. What was that from again? What song was that? Gone Again. It was like a grime song. Anyway, we're going to be gone again. But do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, someone used to say gone again. Yeah. But the plan is we are lifting off. We are not handing this over to people for them to rise it. We have risen the thing.
Exactly.
And we are putting we want people to apply because this is a great place to be. It's not because, we're tired of it. No, it's because we have made a fucking amazing platform that is huge, that is going to... the rocket ship is going off and we are just going to put you in that seat and you are just flying away, honey. Like, we are trying to put you in the best position possible. Like, we've got amazing guests lined up. Looks at Amanda. We've got so many special things that we want to do, special kind of content that we're going to do. We're going to film in the whole process. Even the whole process, we're going to have other podcast hosts be the celebrity guests on it. Like, it's all going off.
Yeah, it's going to be lit, man.
So that is very, very important to be like, there's no winding down.
None.
Got the energy back. We've got the power back in the room. We love a project.
Yes, indeed.
And we are going to deliver. Signed, sealed, delivered, and it will soon be yours if you apply. The next announcement is applications are now officially open.
Applications are open and we're coming to a city near you. No, I'm joking. The applications are available for everybody, right?
Yes.
So it doesn't matter who you are. You have no experience. If you've got some experience, if you've only ever... A lot of you send us that meme, of, that picture of the person sitting next to the other people eating ice cream.
Oh, yeah, it'd be like me
I
talking.
have seen that meme for years since we started that platform. If you've ever sent that, then you need to be applying for this position because now the opportunity is yours.
Yes.
You can actually sit on these seats. You can share your opinions. You can talk about all of the things that you claim we've missed. Any blind spots.
Anything we didn't do good enough.
Anything we didn't do good enough, you can take the baton and you can do it 10 times better. So I'd like to say it's open to anybody, gender, race, age. If you've got something to say, you can apply.
Yes, and please do apply.
Yeah, please
all you have to do is go on our website, theReceiptspodcast.co.uk, and you will find it on the page where you can apply, and it has all of the rules, everything that you need to know is on that page. This is the first stage of it. Yeah. This is gonna go on for a while, which is why we announced it quite early. The application is open from April the 8th to June the 8th, so you have 3. That's a lie. It's open. So the application's open from April the 8th till July the 8th. So you have what? Is that 3 months?
Yeah.
3 months to get yourselves together, to think about it, to submit the most amazing and great video of yourself. It's to think about what it is that you want to say, what you want to do. We've given you guys a big leeway to apply. And after the June the 8th, it's going to be locked. There's no more, oh my God, I forgot.
Yeah.
That's a good enough time.
Exactly. And be as creative as you want with the videos.
Yes.
Do what you want. Go in, don't go in. But I don't know about Tolly, but I will not be looking at any applications that are sent to my DMs.
Yes.
That are sent
you have to go through the legal ways.
Or
sent to Amanda's emails, or sent to our agents.
Because that tells us that you don't follow instructions.
And I hate that.
And that is not what we're looking for. Yeah. So please follow the rules, apply.
Follow the fucking instructions
not
I'm giving to you.
Email, the application email address. There's a specific place that you need to send your videos. Please only send it there because if you send it to my DMs, I will ignore you.
Yes.
And I won't forward it on. Okay?
Yes.
So yes,
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. That's
But that is
what's
it.
intense.
Yeah, it's open. We're excited. And like I said, it's going to be a big 2026. And yeah, we're very excited to see your application. So please do submit. Yeah, we're looking for more than 2. I'll put that out there.
Yeah.
So, you know,
That's a little hint.
there's space. Yeah, we're looking for more than 2. But yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a really fun process, a really informative process. During it, we want to, like we said, workshops, train people up. We want to not only nurture the next host of the Receipts podcast, but nurture the whole world of podcasters to come. And outside, and if you are not right for the Receipts podcast, but you've got a banging podcast idea, come to us.
Exactly, you can still come
to us. We'll figure it out. If the Receipts podcast is not the right one for you, create a deck of a podcast idea that you have that you think it would be great. It can be a narrative one. You don't know I love a storytelling podcast. If you come to me with a good storytelling podcast, I'll run with it. I love that shit. So yeah, it is open and it is yours to do as you please.
How exciting. Run, don't walk. Get those applications in.
Please do. And whilst we're still in the seats, let's get talking, girlie.
Let's get talking.
How are ya?
I'm really, really well.
Good.
I'm actually really, really well. Yeah, I'm in a great mood. I feel my spirits are high and lifted.
I feel good. I feel good. In the neighborhood.
Do you remember? Were you like a channel Ewan?
I was a channel Julian.
Do you remember Aaron Soul? Ring, ring, ring.
Sing the song.
Ring, ring, ring.
My cell phone keeps ringing. Of course I fucking do. Ring. I don't know his name, but I know the song.
That was such a time. Aaron Soul, if you're out there, I wonder what you're up to. I wonder what you're doing.
Yeah.
That was banger. And because I was watching the video the other day with Nick and it was just like, oh my God, like memory unlocked of like that whole era. But that was a banger. And then at the end of the video, yeah, all the girls were like, boo, selector, boo. And I was like, oh my God, do you remember that time?
Some of my favourite conversations to have with someone who is like not British is telling them all of the Britishness.
All of those
and
things.
they just often just stare at me like, girl, shut the fuck. I was like, no, but you don't understand.
No. When someone needs to say something and you rated it, everyone would go, boo, boo,
boo, selector.
It's kind of cringe now.
Dickhead, of course, kind of.
But at the time, it definitely slapped, okay? That sort of late 90s, early noughties kind of time.
No, but also that was a time where like, yeah, so what if it's cringe? You were having a good time. Like nobody was telling you what, there was no like pretense to be cool.
No, there was
and
none.
now everyone's pretending to be cool and trying to be cool. So like nothing is cool anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, yeah, it was like, yeah, this is what we're going to do, so we're going to do it.
That was a time, like literally everybody, like I saw a video of like a rave. It looked like it could have been like Ministry of Sound or something. And it was like an old school garage rave. And obviously, do you know what? I do kind of hate it when people are like, oh, there were no phones at the time because we just didn't have phones then. Do you know what I mean?
And also, if we did, they didn't have that technology.
No, they definitely didn't.
Yeah, so like, that's why there were no fucking phones.
The pictures were so pixelated.
Like, so bad.
Like, I remember when I had my BBM, yeah, oh my God, because BBM was life back them days. And I remember I was trying to get the attention of some guy, yeah. And like, he was the kind of guy that anytime I updated my BBM picture, he would always message me. And then this time, I thought this picture slapped. I was wearing my American Apparel dress. It was like skin tight, black, but it was kind of like had this like, this panel, this like see-through panel down the middle.
I know exactly the dress.
Do you know the dress? Yes. And then I had it with my butterfly waist belt.
Of course. What else? And, what else?
I was definitely wearing black tights.
What else?
And then do you remember there was a time where they were kind of like boat shoes for girls, but they were heels and they were plastic and they were kind of like stretchy.
I'm too young, I don't.
Okay, yeah, but that was a
stretchy boat shoe.
Sorry. But they also had a heel. It actually gets worse. They actually wear a high heel. And they were kind of like, so imagine the shoe that you can fold up and put in your clutch bag.
Yeah.
That kind of
the little foldable, ones. Yeah.
But that was the style. Then at the front, they turned up a little bit.
Jesus.
And then they had little holes in them.
What the fuck are you saying?
No, I don't know if I'm over describing them. Yeah,
find a picture of this.
I will absolutely find a picture. I have to find a picture. But they were really popular. Topshop like did them in like the early noughties. They had a heel. The heel was quite chunky. The heel was like a standard block heel, but the middle of the shoe was that stretchy material, bendy. Yeah,
crazy.
But the front was pointy.
Jesus is Lord. Like, I mean, I love an ugly shoe, but my God, that sounds horrendous.
I have them in turquoise blue. So I was wearing that black and gold outfit, the American Apparel dress, with black tights and then
with a little pop of colour. A little pop of colour on the shoe.
Pop of colour shoe. And so I changed my picture, and I remember that picture was, in my mind at the time, it was so fire, yeah. So I've put it up. I'm looking at my BBM, like no acknowledgement of my picture.
Are you blind or?
So then I deleted it and I reposted it. When I say I kept on re-uploading it, I did it about 20 times. Finally, I get the message, yeah? And then he was like, I think your BBM's glitching.
Because this picture keeps going on and off, on and off.
Your picture, he was like, because the thing with me is I'm so impulsive, I've got no patience. So it's not like I was coming back every hour. I was doing it back to back to back.
I have never in my life met someone that loves man like Audrey.
So when I finally saw the message, I was like, oh my God, it took you long enough. Bloody hell, you noticed my
finally.
Picture. And then he was just like, I think your BBM is glitching. Like seriously. And I was just like, oh my God, that did not have the desired effect. But that was the time. So yeah, we go back to say that we didn't really have like, the camera phones were not camera phoning.
Yeah, the quality
then.
wasn't
so
that good.
You didn't
That's
have
why it wasn't around. Because as soon as we
time.
did have phones with different cameras, they were out.
Oh, all the time.
Like remember the little square Nokia ones?
Mm-hmm.
We used to do happy slapping.
Yeah, that was a bad time.
Happy slapping was a weird
But it was
time.
funny though. But like it was bad though, but it was funny. I say that I never got happy slapped. I don't think I would have found it that funny.
I think I would have killed someone.
If someone happy slapped me. Because people used to do it so randomly.
Yeah.
Like, and you just didn't know and they would actually get their phones out and start filming you.
I lived a fear of happy slapping or accidentally getting a football hit on my head. Like
Yeah.
that accidentally walking through a field and a football hitting my head was such a weird
to me
fear.
before. That happened to me in school.
That is one of my worst fears.
But to be honest, I don't know why I was walking across the football pitch when the boys were playing. Mine happened on the football pitch.
And that's what it is. We used to do that. We used to walk across the football pitch when the boys were playing. So the likelihood this ball's going to hit you in your fucking head.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what I was doing though, but I remember it slapped me clean across my face. Like it was so,
that,
like,
and it feels like it will hurt. And I just want none of it.
It stung so badly. But do you know who came over and asked me if I was okay?
James Batley.
James Batley.
Of course he did. Of course James Batley was like,
James
oh my God,
Batley came over and asked me if I was okay, and I was like,
that made it worth it, didn't it?
Like,
you get slapped with the ball again,
on
you?
slap me again with those balls.
Hit me with the ball again. Do it one more time.
Hit me with those balls again, baby.
Of course you did. But speaking of football,
yeah, go on.
I'm joking. I've got absolutely fuck all to say about.
I thought you were going to say about Senegal.
Oh my God, yes. Oh my God, okay, cool. I go again. Your sports correspondence. Speaking of football, news of the AFCON. I can't believe the AFCON, they turned the AFCON into a joke, man. Like at the end of the day, yeah, it's the African nation.
Exactly, man.
Sorry, I've got nothing to say. Outside of the raggedy Moroccans, is it Moroccans?
Yeah.
Want the trophy back from Senegal because they're saying that
they're rightful fucking winners.
Do you know how crazy that is to say? Oh, because they came. What was it? What was the reason wanting it back? Because Senegal refused to play for a little bit.
They wasted too much time or something.
No, something happened and Senegal went off pitch.
Off the pitch for 20 minutes or something, and they were saying they were off pitch.
Okay, cool. But they came back out and they played and they won.
Because at the end of the day, does it not boil down to goals that were scored or penalties or whatever the case may be? Since when has that ever been a thing? I hate it, yeah, when I'm like watching football, which is never, when Nick's watching football, and then it's like, say, because it is a very happy day in our house when Fulham win, which is like hardly ever.
Oh yeah, I forget.
And so when they win, but sometimes I'm like, listen, I need the mood in this house to be lifted, like please, like. So sometimes what will happen is like, say Fulham's winning, yeah, and then it's coming to the end of the match where like 89, and I'm like, thank God, 1 minute to go. There's no way they're gonna score in that minute.
And then bam.
And then extra time.
Yeah.
And then 7 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you adding on 7 minutes? Do you not realise what this means to my household?
Minutes,
and like,
yeah.
and oftentimes it does. Like it often does. Like when you know you've got an extra 7 minutes, yeah, then they start battering goals.
The heartbreak is crazy.
And then equalising, and I'm just like, oh, for God's
The other day,
sake.
Arsenal was playing Man City, right? I think it was a final for something.
Yeah, it was like the cup,
and like, yeah, my brother-in-law and my nephew both support Arsenal, of course. I was on the phone to my sister and she's like, oh, it's a bit tense. And then, so I think Arsenal's, Man City scored and my nephew comes to the kitchen, my sister, she's like, Mummy. He's like, oh, Mummy, I think Arsenal's going to lose. And he's like, he's like, he can't take it. Because when I watch football, if whoever I'm supporting starts losing, I get up. Like, I am not putting myself.
It gets really tense.
I have been in the pub watching a Euro final. As soon as I see England start, I just get up and leave. Because I can't put myself through that kind of...
The mood
my heart is... Yeah. So he comes in, he's like, Mum, I think they're going to, like, he's like upset. And then, so he's just quiet and still on FaceTime. And I think Man City score again. And and like, since we were younger, right, my mum used to always say this thing. She says it Yoruba, every man dunyo. And it basically means laughter hurts. So like, if someone's upset and you're now laughing, you're gonna make it like it's gonna make it worse. So me and Dami are cackling on the phone, and obviously they're upset. And I think if he could have said "fuck you, Auntie," he would have said,
definitely thinking it.
Like,
He was
fucking bitch.
definitely thinking it.
He looked like he was going to burst. And I was like, wow, from young, this thing breaks men's hearts.
It really means so much to them. Like, it really does it affects the country.
That's genuinely why I can't be a football fan, because I know I'd be that person.
Yeah,
I would be that kind of
you'd be
person
really
that it would
passionate
actually affect my whole mood. I remember, I'll never forget this. I was very, very young. I think I was in year 8. And I was having my little white boy phase. I was dating Jeffrey Tucker, year above me. Little spicy little white boy. And it was the Euros or something.
Yeah.
And I think it was one of the Euros, a World Cup that we really thought that like England was going to win it, right? Like, I think it was really looking whatever. So the night before the game happened and England lost, I remember going to school the next day and Jeffrey's mad upset and he's like... So I'm like, are you all right? Wait, he's mad upset. So I just start crying. I'm like, I'm so sorry. As if it was me that lost.
Not you being a supportive girlfriend.
But I was like, I just have to be supportive because he's so upset. And this man, I think he's great. I don't know who he is, man. But he probably doesn't even English sharp. Like, why are you crying? But I was so upset for him because I was like, yeah, this... Especially when it's an England game, because... There is a hope during the Euros and the World Cup, and every single time they get close in it, and then they start singing "Football's Coming Home," and a little part of you believes maybe football will come home.
The spirit, the spirit of the country is really nice.
It is nice
when England win, and like, you feel very much a part of it, even though some people try and tell you that you're not. But like, you do feel part. But people include you, like you feel a part of it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've got a Young England shirt. Do you know what I mean?
I don't have an England shirt.
Don't you?
No.
Yeah, I've got one.
I've got a Nigerian one.
I've got one.
I've got a Nigerian shirt. I've got an Arsenal shirt. I've got a Man U shirt. I've got an Arsenal ladies shirt as
I've
well.
only got an England and Ghana shirt.
I think I support Arsenal ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah, in my decision making of football, I support Arsenal ladies, and I think I currently support Man United men.
Okay. I grew up Arsenal. My dad and my brother are hardcore Arsenal fans.
Yeah.
But I'd married into Fulham. Do you know what I mean? So by default, I support Fulham, but my history dictates that I'm an Arsenal supporter. So I just kind of go with the wind blows.
Do Arsenal and Fulham ever play? They're in the same league?
They do play sometimes, but I feel like they are in the same league because Fulham was in the Premier League. They made it to the Premier League.
Oh, that's nice.
But I feel like they're the lower tier.
Where's Dagenham and Redbridge?
I don't think that's not Premier, babes. I think that's like level 2. What's it called?
Scott Brand.
Yeah, I feel like that's like lower league. I can't remember what it's called though. I know that Premier League is like where the heavy hitters are. Your Manchester Uniteds, your Manchester Cities. Like, you know.
I want to go to more football games. Please invite. I had so much fun when I went.
Manchester City though, I feel like they kind of came out of nowhere.
No, they haven't.
Because I always remember Manchester United being a thing.
Yeah, because they used to be like the city is red, but now the city is blue because Man City are winning. Am I right?
But
they got purchased by Portugal. I only said that because of Maya's man. I know he's Portuguese. Maybe. What's his name? What's his?
Who?
Maya's boyfriend. He plays for Man City.
Ruben Diaz.
That's it. Yeah. Anyway, that's it for the end of our sporting correspondence.
Women in sport.
Hope you guys enjoyed that riveting conversation and the breaking news we have brought to you in the sporting department in the UK. Football is indeed coming home.
Yes. People that like sports will be very offended by that commentary, but listen.
Do you know I cannot play football?
I don't think I can.
I have no fucking clue what's happening. Like, as in, I can play basketball. Nobody believes me, but I can play basketball. I can play tag rugby. I can play netball. What else can I play?
I can
I can play rounders. Maybe this is the year that we actually have the sports day that we said we've been talking about.
The sports day would be so friggin' fun.
Yes, and we said we were going to do, look, the running with Gunner. We could have done running with receipts running.
Oh, yeah.
No, we have to do a sports day. The sports day will include a race.
Yes, like an egg and spoon.
Yeah, who wants to sponsor us on a sports day? All of this, one active, Gymshark. Let's do a sports day. I think it'll be fun.
That would be so cool.
Yeah, and actually have a nice summer's day sports day.
Yeah, rounders and all of that. That's
all the things we've been saying we're going to do for the last 10 years that never happened.
The only thing I'm going to tap out of committing to, which I actually think I usually kind of on mute, is doing any kind of running.
No, we have to race though.
In the
sports day.
Yeah, that one's fine.
Oh, you mean a long distance, like a 5K or a 10K
or anything like that?
Who would run a marathon?
I think I need to that one. I need to politely remove myself.
Yeah, I was never going to run a marathon
because that is definitely not.
I don't believe in running marathons.
Why?
I don't see why you should exert your body to that. I don't get it.
Yeah, like I don't know about all of that. I don't know.
People, and I admire people that do it. I'm like, you're definitely better than me, but I'm just like, okay,
it's
cool.
not a bit of me. I don't like running. That's just too much.
I'm not a long distance stiller.
Yeah, definitely not.
I don't enjoy long distance stiller. But yeah, we will this year. This will be the year.
Yeah, 100%.
They say, mark this date. We said it, so it's going to happen now. But yeah, that is it on the sports bit. Don't worry. If you was very angry about that, you can relax now. You can chill.
Exactly, we're moving on.
But I'm actually moving on to something that's probably going to make you even angrier, right?
No, what?
As you guys know, I've been following this story for a very long time since it's happened because I think this woman is the bravest and such. I just think for everything she's gone through, I just think she's the bravest woman ever. And I'm talking about Giselle Pillicotte. Am I saying her name right? Pillicotte, who's the French woman who, I don't know if you guys remember the story, he was the French woman who her husband used to like basically drug her every night and he would have people come in and rape and abuse her. And that went on for years. And the only reason why he was caught was because one day he was in a supermarket taking a picture up a girl's skirt. The sales assistant clocks him, reports him to the police. They go to his home to go do a search. And this man literally had a folder just saying, I think it was called assault. It was titled so overtly what it was. And that's where they saw all of this video. And all of that time, Giselle had no idea her husband was doing that to her.
Imagine.
Like absolutely no idea that he was doing this to her. One night she would wake up and she'd be like, she doesn't feel well, she feels sore. And she'd go and have breakfast with this man. And he knows what... I cannot understand that level of betrayal. Like it spins me. And the latest season of Betrayal, the podcast, is actually based on a woman whose husband used to do this to her as well. He would drug her, have sex with her, but he would then put all the videos on the internet. And because of the laws of the time, it was legal to rape your wife. So he kind of was basically going to get away with it. Anyway. So in like Giselle's case, they've like a little while ago released all of the names, the ages, and the occupation of these people.
Good.
And this ages range from her husband, who was 72. The youngest person was 27 years old. So it literally ranged from someone that was 27 years old to someone that was 74 years old. That was doing this to her, and it puts all their sentences. And what really got me about this thing, because I think sometimes when you think about men who assault, who abuse or whatever, it feels safer to assume that they're just monsters, just random people who you never come across, or you only come across them if you are unlucky. Do you get what I mean? Like it's never someone that you would actually know or be around or whatever. But because they put all their professions in it, it's really, because a lot of their professions are people who you would happily let into your home. They are, I'll read some of the professions are, they're plasterers, a delivery driver, a site manager, a transport worker, a cleaner, a lorry driver, someone who's an office worker, a tiler, a shopkeeper, an IT worker, a journalist, a construction worker, a carpenter, a supermarket worker, a forklift lifter, a restaurant manager, a lorry driver, a volunteer fireman, a mirror maker, a lorry driver, a roofer, a baker, a plumber, a nurse, an electrician, a firefighter, a fridge technician, a gardener, a pensioner, a DJ, and a former firefighter. One of these men, when he was put up, said he didn't realise it was rape. So he didn't realise he was doing anything wrong.
I think
because the husband was letting him do it.
Just disgusting.
And the reason why this story is all, and the list of names is so haunting to me, because they're like, they are not normal people. Like, as in, you let the nutrition in your house and you'd be like, yeah, cool, come and do. And unbeknownst to you, this man is doing this after the hours.
Yeah, it's just disgusting. Are they all doing time?
Yeah.
Thank God.
So it says their name, their age, their sentence,
Thank God.
and their profession. And I'm so happy they released their names because I feel like I don't know if I've seen that before.
I feel like it feels like these people are always protected. So
yeah, somehow they just kind of like, I'm so happy that they've said their full names,
yeah.
how old they are, and what it is that they do. So they are identifiable people. It's not like, oh no, it could be any John. No, this is the John that was an electrician that you know of, that you probably let into your home to do these things. And this, I'm so haunted by it. And Giselle honestly, I think she goes down as one of the most amazing women ever, because her whole thing was, I'm not going to go into hiding. This is not my shame.
Good. Yeah.
And I think often many victims of that kind of crime feel like they have to hide away. She's like, this is not my shame. I didn't do anything wrong.
She wasn't even
I married a man who I loved, and he was the one that was doing this to me.
It's just, and I just think when it comes to stuff like this, like exactly like what you were saying, like people have the perception of what an abuser looks like.
Yeah, some random
what a
dark,
rapist looks like, it's going to be in an alley and all of that. But time and time again, the evidence and the statistics show it's going to be someone in your house. It's going to be someone that has access to you, someone that you live with. And it's just really fucking scary, because who do you trust? Like, you know, if the likelihood is it's someone that you know, kind of thing. But I don't know what kind of depraved, I don't know how these things, like, how does the thought even enter your brain to even think, like, even if it was like a thought or a fantasy, the fact that you've actually acted on it, like you've gone out and you have purchased some sort of substance to knock her out so that she's completely unconscious.
Her husband.
And then, like, how do you even communicate with the men that are going to do this? Because how does that go down?
It's the dark web, though.
Without the guys being like, oh, okay.
I know. Like, it's the dark web. And also it's like, she's walked past these people because they're people that like live around her neighborhood. She might have got served in the supermarket. So that supermarket worker could have served her one day.
I don't give a damn. I feel like people like that, they should all be castrated, and all 51 of them should be in the same cell. All be in the same cell, piled up on top of each other.
It is absolutely. There is a podcast I'm listening to. You absolutely should not listen to it. Audrey for sure. And I'll say this, it's a very, very hard listen. It's another BBC World Service podcast, and it is about the dark web, and it's about child abusers basically. And it is it follows these two men who are detectives who go and find them. So the first story initially starts with the story of their so what they do is they go into these sites and they catch the people. So they go into, and some of these sites are like, there's like baby porn, like as in like awful abuse, absolutely disgusting abuse that they're doing. So the first episode starts with there is a video of a child assault basically, and they've seen it, and they're like, we have to find that child. Because they have that, like, they don't know who that child is, but this child was like reoccurringly showing up. So her abuser was constantly making videos and sharing it on that thing. And it's like, we have to find that child. So they're kind of like made it their life's work to find this child. So their first thing was to be like, go via Facebook. They're like, because she like around her looks stable. She's in a nice house. Everything looks like, at one point, there's someone who's loved this child that's posted a picture on the internet somewhere. That's posted her like, you know, as a family. So I think they'd like ask Facebook to get the permission to be able to, because with Facebook, you can be able to send them a picture and they can recognize that it's from this. They've got technology that shows that, oh, it's from this profile or this account of this neighborhood, whatever. But I think Facebook went back and forth and they said for whatever reason they couldn't do it. So, but these men were like, they were not giving up on this thing. So they started like looking around the house and looking for clues and things like that. Eventually, long story short, they found this person because the house had a brick wall, and they'd spoken to someone who sells bricks, and he was like, that's a very particular type of brick. And he knew so much about brickwork that I was like, it's only sold in this region in America. And then when they got back to that store, they realized that the weight of it can only be sold to people who are this close, this radius to this store. Like, it was all very, very fascinating. And they found the girl and they saved the girl. And it is so, I cried. And like this, so they found the girl initially 11 years ago, and at the end of the episode they speak to the girl who's now 21. It was happening when she was 11, and she was just like, people kept asking her, the police kept, why didn't you tell anyone? Because she was like, she didn't know what was happening to tell. She didn't even know what to say, what's happening to her to be telling somebody. And there was so much of them like going to go catch people. There was one story which was particularly awful. This man who was caught because he was abusing his niece and putting videos on it. And one of the people who was watching it, his wife was pregnant. And he had told this paedophile that he had planned on abusing that child. So they were on a deadline to find him before his wife gave birth. Do you know how sick? Like, it is brilliant investigative work. It is a really, really great podcast, but it is a hard listen.
The thing is, that is real journalism and that is real detective work. Like whenever I like watch things, I think I don't think my mind works that way to piece things together. I guess there's a level of training, but I also think it's like a God-given gift as well to be able to like use your brain in that ability. And shout out to those people that make it their life's work. I've always said, like, whenever people say like, what do you think is the worst job? And people are like, I've been doing this or cleaning the toilet. Please, that is a lie. Like the people that have to sift through child abuse images.
That's what the man was saying.
To identify.
It was like, it fucks you up.
That is the
it
worst.
Fucks you up.
That is and I feel I can't even imagine what level of disassociating you have to do.
And the amount of months they have to be in this room talking as if they're a pervert as well, because they have to get their trust.
Or just even like resting on your morals to not become that. Do you know what I mean? Because I guess like the more of that you see, I can imagine it would become normal. Do you feel it feels
normal? Like,
do you know what I mean? And then you must have to fight. I mean, I just think that if you're not that way inclined, you're not that way inclined. Like it's not possible unless you're that way inclined. And usually those people have been abused themselves. Do you know what I mean? So it really is just a disgusting cycle that's just perpetuated. But shout out to those people that do that work because it is mad and it's so like. The thing with what you were saying about when when they actually interviewed the victim and her saying that she didn't know it was she didn't know it was wrong. That's how it starts because even like with Anaya, I'm always teaching her. And like one time Nick came in the room and I was like telling Anaya, I say it to her every single day. She's only 2.5, but I'm trying to get it into her head. Like we use the words, like she knows that's her vagina. She knows these are her boobies. Like I use those words purposely and I'm always telling her anytime I'm changing her, you don't let anybody. And then Nick was like, nah, like you actually have to teach her, obviously like teach her that as well, but that's not how it starts. It starts with grooming, like small touching here, small petting here, like, and then it kind of builds up. Like a predator's probably not going to go straight for the kill. I don't know, I'm not in their mindset, but they're probably not going to go straight for those areas. It's so sad
that you have to even fucking
exactly
tell
the fact
her
that you even have to tell her that. And honestly, she goes to nursery. As soon as she gets home, I check her body thoroughly. If I have to know what her body looks like. I need to know every crevice it looks the way it looked when I checked yesterday. Because the world is just full, and there's more and more of these stories coming out, especially at nurseries. Like, it's happening more and more. Like, you know, and unfortunately, I've had to say, like, the only people that are allowed to change her nappy are her key workers that I've got a personal relationship with. Sometimes they have male supply staff in the nursery. If I had it my way, that wouldn't be the case. I've had to tell them no male supply staff member is allowed to go near her nappy. Like, it's just not going to happen. And if I catch wind, that whole nursery's getting shut down. And these are just things that you have to implement, and it's such a shame. Like, you would like to think that people that apply for these jobs are people that just love kids and they see the innocence and they value children no matter where they're from, whatever their background. But unfortunately, there are people that infiltrate these spaces to access children. And there's more and more stories coming out every single day here, especially in the UK, about nurseries. And I'm not trying to scare anyone because Anaya is very much in nursery. I just think that we just have to just be diligent with like being a parent that is having these conversations and just like really having your finger on the pulse in terms of what's going on in the place. But there's so many stories coming out about male workers abusing children. There was one not that long ago in the UK about that 18-year-old boy, and they caught him in a toilet with an infant child. I think this little boy was 18 months old, and he had sodomized the child. And clearly, like when you see the guy's picture, the boy's picture, he's not a boy, he's 18, he's a man. When you see his blank, just blank. I think he probably was on some sort of spectrum or something.
I don't even like the idea of that, right? Because it's
like, it's not even synonymous. It's not.
Because that's what synonymous. People say a lot about the men in the incels, like, oh, it's linked to, and it's just like, no, like some people just like, it doesn't matter. Podcast I'm talking about is The World of Secrets, the season 11 of the BBC one. It is like, it's a really hard listen. That's why I haven't, like, I wouldn't recommend it as like, oh, it's not a fun listen, but it is.
But it's important.
Amazing investigative work. Like, God. People it's always going to be investigative journalists are always going to be the height of it for me, like in this career. People, like, it's always going to be the height of it. I think they are.
Give them their flowers.
Yeah, I think they are amazing, and also for like months to stick on a story to be like, I will get to the end of this. Love that.
Yeah, no, the people that are really committed to, like, I love those sort of vigilante groups of people that go around like purposely like catching these people and basically doing the work that the police, I guess, should be doing, or maybe they don't have time or whatever the case may be. But they're catching these people. They're like decoys or setting these traps, and they're catching them in the acts. Like, I see them all the time on Instagram, especially. It happens in London a lot.
Because there was a weird bit about vigilantes. There was I think these lot are like linked to the police anyway, whatever. But there is that weird group of people who are just like, they don't get all of their facts right and they're abusing the wrong people. Like, as in, it's like, vigilantes are always a bit, because some people really don't get facts right, or especially if they, I don't know how I feel about filming them for social, because I feel like they just do things to get a reaction on socials. They're just doing it for like numbers and things like that. So I'm a bit like, about things like that. But you know what?
Yeah, I guess if the ones that believe they're protecting kids or whatever, because I think it's like, I mean, I don't know. Because the ones that like they set traps and stuff, if you know that this is a person that is this way inclined and you're trying to entice them to meet you somewhere, then I don't know. It's just very mad. But yeah,
speaking of videos online, have you seen that video of that man? It's like a man and a wife is like, he's interviewing him, and he's saying how, like, my wife has homes, and like my wife is a landlord. She has a home and she has supermarkets that he knew nothing about. He was like, can you believe that my wife is a business owner or whatever? He was like, even at one point they'd like got into a bad situation, and she had like found them an apartment to live in, and she was like, oh, it's okay, the landlord said that we can pay bit by bit. Come to find out she was the landlord the whole time. And he said, and what makes it worse is the renters are going up every year. It's him that pays for me. And I was like, I'm so bad for us. The whole time I was watching that, I was thinking, you go, girl.
Me too.
I didn't, because I was like, if a man did that, I'd be like, oh, he's evil. But the whole time I just kept thinking, you go. Like, there was something that happened in her life that she said, even with him, that she said, never again will a man have me fucked up like this again. And that's why she put them things in her head. But it made me think, do you believe, because like, I have never been around two things I want to talk about when it comes to older women. One, I've never been around older women that don't advise you to have a secret account from your husband.
Never met one.
I have never met one who doesn't say no.
Not one.
Are you mad? You better.
Whether that be stay-at-home wife, businesswoman,
any
whatever.
single one of them, I have never met one that's told me, oh no, don't worry, just share all of your money. They're always
even
like,
Emma Greed said it the other day.
You better make sure you've got something that is just yours. One.
Facts.
Also, all of you men are saying, oh, our mum's generations, our nan's generations. Have you seen any street interview? When they interview these older women and say, what is your regret? They always say, I would have never got married.
Yeah, every single one of them
was like, I would never got married young. I actually would have got married maybe in my 40s or in my 50s. I wouldn't have had kids. Like, all of the younger, they always like...
They never tell those tales. They always tell the tales of their grandma with their 21 grandkids. And
but I promise you, it's the same grandmas that they interview that the grandmas will always say, I just wish I waited. I wish I didn't get married so young. Yeah,
they don't pay attention to those... they don't ask them questions. They talk based off of like face value. Do you know what I mean? But they never actually sit and ask them the in-depth questions. Like, they spew whatever suits their narrative, which is like, oh, women back in the day, like, look at my grandma, she was with my granddad for 56 years and she had 21 grandkids and the house was always clean. Like, and they're just completely taking out of context. Like, there's so many things that they're ignoring.
You're ignoring the time, how much power women had in those days. You're ignoring so many things, but it's just, oh, well, she said.
Exactly.
And all of these women are advising us to be like, wait a bit longer. Yeah, exactly.
You couldn't even have a flipping bank account.
Exactly.
Where was Granny going? Like, please.
But anyway, so it made me think, do you believe in secret accounts?
I believe in having my own account. I don't necessarily think
it's
it
not
needs to be a secret.
Like, you just, I've got my own account.
I absolutely do not play about that. Like, I think that, and the thing is, again, it's not to spite my husband or anything like that. This is for me. This is
mine.
I'm married, whatever, but I'm still an individual in a marriage.
Yeah.
And everybody has like autonomy and has the right to have things. And if he has an account, he does. Like, the way we do things is we have a joint account and we have our individual accounts. The joint account is only for things that we're both financially responsible for. Our home and our kid. Everything else is my money, it's his money, and then we come together in what we need to come together in. Like, I just think it's such a simple concept that people make far more complicated. But I've absolutely got accounts that are very much in my maiden name, which are very much just for me.
What's in your accounts?
No.
If he asks you, oh, how much have you got in your personal account? Would you tell him? Or would you lie?
I would tell him.
The exact.
Yeah, because I don't feel the need to be, because I do think that, you know, if you're going to be with someone in this type of relationship, then I do believe in transparency.
And then when you tell him that's the time he needs money for this business idea, what are you saying? Suddenly he's got this great business idea,
no,
and the
but
money in your account,
the
money in your account would help it.
No, but exactly, because all of a sudden you got an idea. How convenient after you know the figure. All of a sudden, where was the idea before you knew the number, sir?
And the love is
now I'm tongue tied. I'm parched. No, I'm joking. Like,
you know, it sounds like joking, but not a laugh inside.
Yeah, no,
I'm just kidding.
I don't think I would. Only because that money is it's set aside for an emergency. I don't think you having a business idea is a state of an emergency.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So no, and also you have your own savings for that. Dip into your own savings. Like, so no, I don't think I would. I don't think I would at all.
So he will know everything that's in your stocks and shares, your lifetime ISA, your
business.
So he will know what's in all accounts.
No, he doesn't. But we don't really talk about it because there's an understanding that that's my thing.
Okay.
So the same way I wouldn't tell anybody else because it's my thing, he doesn't need to know that. And you wouldn't expect to know his stuff as well. No, same. Like, I really respect like autonomy and individuality in like our relationship and people like being able to still be an individual.
Would you be offended if you were like, okay, you're living how you're living now, and then you find out he's got one account with crazy money in it? I think I would.
I'd feel away if there's been hard times.
Yeah,
because why have you? Yeah, because that's insane.
Why did you let us go through the hard times?
Because if you knew you had this crutch, because essentially that's what that money's for. Because if that were me, I'm gonna dip into it if we're in a state of an emergency. Come on, that's literally what it's there for.
Yeah.
So if we were faced with hard times, the house is about to be taken,
but he was like, no, he's saving it for his business idea,
he's just like, yeah, I guess they're coming to evict us, babes. Meanwhile, you've got the funds there to alleviate the situation. I would just be like, what, are you dumb? Like, are you dumb? Because I wouldn't do that. So, but if it's just there and then I found out, like, swear, okay. Yeah. No, money in relationships and stuff like that is complicated, but I think it can be made as simple as possible. But what's mine is mine, what's yours is yours, and what's ours is ours. And it's
always really weird, like, being a freelancer or how we work. Because, like, when I've had conversations about, okay, what it is that you earn, I was like, buddy, I can't tell you. I'm not even lying. I can't tell you that. I can tell you what I earned last year, but I don't know if that's going to be what it's going to be this year.
Yeah,
like,
it's ebbs and flows. Like,
shit, I'm the unstable one here.
Yeah, exactly. It's ebbs. You just never know. Like, 1 month can be amazing, then the next 4 months could be a dry spell. Then it picks up again. Then you get one job here that pays enough to cover you for the. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so like up and down. So, but for the most part, like, everyone does what they're supposed to do, which is why I believe so heavily in partnership, because then you're rarely having these conversations because the power dynamic is as equal as it can be. Like, obviously, there's always going to be, times where.
If I'm speaking honestly, that woman, she did betray her husband by not.
Yeah, that's kind of mad.
It's mad. But I know she has a reason. Like,
100%.
Sorry, she has a reason.
100%. But I think that, like, yeah, but history dictates that.
And also, sometimes I'm too fiercefully on women's side. Tell me a woman's cheating, I'm like, yeah, there's a reason.
Yeah, same.
It's not because she's not a bad person. It's because she had to.
It's history.
Yeah.
Like, we're actually, we're making these judgments based off of actual, like, data.
And there was another video that my sister was telling me. I think this woman was like, had gone to her husband about something and he'd hit her and she actually just beat him up. Like I said, like, but you could tell it was when the woman's fed up. Like she just wasn't having it anymore. And she was like, all the comments are like, the sisterhood is proud of you.
No, literally.
The sisterhood is proud of you. Like I said, you know what?
No, it happens. No, but it does happen often, yeah, and it does get quite dark because there was some video of some 21-year-old girl in America, and basically, like, she like had unalived her boyfriend to death, like stabbed him to death.
Okay.
And like they were young, like I think the boy was the same age as her or whatever.
That's too much.
But they didn't say the reason why. And she was like in her orange jumpsuit, she just looked blank, like she had no emotion in her face, like she looked like she could give two shits. And everyone in the comments was like, what was he wearing? What was he wearing? You know, just, do you know what I mean? Like, they were like, oh, what was he wearing? Like, why was he out so late at night? Why wasn't he dressed modestly? Like, just making all of these sarcastic comments.
But then it makes you realise, because how ridiculous it is when you ask about that.
Yeah,
like,
that's what it is.
I think the whole point to show you is that, like, this is how stupid you lot sound.
But these are actually the things that you
and
say.
And you lot say, like,
when it's
you will find out
a
man was beating a girl, you'll be like, oh, but what did she do? Huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, especially if it's a certain type of woman, you'll find that a certain type of woman got here, but oh yeah, but she does like, yeah, but you know what? Sorry.
Yep.
So let us start asking you them questions as well. Like, what were you wearing? Why were you out at night?
Yeah.
Why were you walking down the alley?
Exactly.
Like, why didn't you pick the right woman? Because
exactly.
that's the kind of stupid questions you like to ask us.
Oh, you need to choose better. You never give the nice guy the time of day. Blah blah blah. It's just.
Oh, the nice guy can get lost.
Yeah,
man.
piss off.
Look, a real, genuine nice guy is not going on about how much he's a nice guy.
He's not going to say it.
So I don't think you're as much as of a nice guy as you think
when
you
nice
are.
guys say they're nice guys, I just think that they're just entitled. Like, because now you've given yourself that label. You feel like you are entitled to something because you've been a nice guy. But you should just be nice because you're just being nice, not because you're trying to get something out of a woman, especially. There
is not a month that goes past that I don't get an email about a rising in price. Talk. Oh, we're going up by £3. Is £3 not money?
Yeah, who isn't? Every
single time.
Every minute, price increase.
Like, give me a break. Anyway, should we do some dilemmas?
Let's.
The first dilemma. Hi, girlies. Hope you are doing amazing. You're literally the only podcast to listen to. Aww. And I'm so sad it's ending, but happy for your successes and anything new that comes to you both.
Amen.
I've been married nearly 5 years and I'm a mum. When I did get married, my father refused as my husband isn't from the same country as me. No. But I waited over a year of trying to convince him, then went ahead anyways, and my mum gave me her blessings. 5 years later, he's still not willing to talk to me. Oh, wow. I've tried so many times and I can't even go to my childhood home. I'm not someone who trusts men easily, so when I found my husband and there were so many things he did right, I didn't want to let go for the sake of culture. My mum acts like I'm some kind of secret child, so whispers my name around him, and if he's around, she will hang up on me. The period of my life where this happened, I went through the worst depression as I was kicked out, isolated, and just depressed. I spent 2 weeks in my bed ordering takeaway to the point that I went to Asda and had to take a break as I couldn't walk far, as I hadn't walked properly in 2 weeks. My issue is, it's been 5 years. He's visibly unwell, and my siblings and mum are telling me about all his health concerns. At first, I just still helped out with anything to do with my dad, but without him knowing, e.g. flight tickets, hotels, doctor's letters, etc. All me despite him knowing. But I'm seeing how much it's impacting my mental health just being rejected when I do try to speak to him. But how can I just not if I'm scared he'll pass away with him hating me? I want to reconcile. I want to be able to do the normal thing of letting my child see her granddad and see my childhood home, but he just won't speak to me. He won't let me in the house. His last words to me were that I shouldn't even come to his funeral before he kicked me out.
What kind of hatred?
What should I do? I don't want to be filled with regret if something happens to him, but I can't keep going to him and he acts all dramatic and I'm in a shit place all over again because of how this still makes me feel. I can't put myself in a shit place because I'm a mum and I don't want my children to see me upset.
Oh, that's a really tough one.
It is a tough one,
That is
actually.
a really, really, really tough one because they're still your dad. Up until the point in which you got married, I take it you had a decent relationship.
Yeah.
He's sick. And, I mean, we don't know if he's going to, become so poorly he doesn't make it and all the rest of it. But at the same time, he's simultaneously telling you he wants nothing to do with you. Do not come to the house. Don't even come to his funeral. That is very dark. And I understand why it feels like you want to do the right thing because it's the right thing to do, as opposed to actually wanting to do it. Does that make sense? So I think if it were me, how much rejection is too much rejection before you give up, even though he's sick? I think I would respect his wishes. I don't know.
I feel like now you're sick now. Like most people, when it comes to the end of their life, especially if it's not a surprise to them, when they can see themselves like, okay, cool, I'm getting older, I'm sick, whatever. Most people try to reconcile.
Yeah.
Especially you the same with their children.
Yeah,
right? They're trying to be like, okay, cool, you know what, I don't have long here left, whatever. Let me fix things or let me spend time with people. It feels like a natural sort of thing, especially when it's not like the child killed somebody.
Yeah,
like, as in, the child married someone they loved, like, and they're still with this person, they've still got a kid, they're still happy. Like, and sometimes parents have to realize that, like, you're not my God. Like, okay, you didn't approve. Okay, like, as in, and so what? And honestly, I don't think this is yours to carry. That's on that man. Like, you've tried, you've done all the things that you needed to do on the back end. You still helped him out, even though he's rejected you, made you feel like shit. And even in his sickness, what I'll do, I don't know if you've approached him in his sickness. In this time of sickness, maybe I'll go be like, Dad, I want to see you. You know, like, I'll go to, sorry, your mum's pissing me off.
Yeah, what the hell?
So, like, I don't know the dynamics of your home, so I just cut my own self off. But I just deep that. Your mum should have let this thing wrap up from a...
Yeah, she 100% should.
Someone that has access to him during pillow talk. Again, I don't know dynamics. Some dynamics are a bit like, oh, like maybe he's a real
like
authoritative,
a tyrant,
in the house. So sometimes there are some households where no one can talk but the husband. So maybe it's that kind of household. But I do feel like this, instead of acting like, oh, you're a secret child, your mum should be like, I'm talking to my daughter, your daughter. Like I said, your mum should stand up for you in that home. And I think your mum and your siblings need to do a better job at getting at your dad. Like, he might be incredibly stubborn, which he sounds like it, and he might be the head of the household, but you're getting weaker. You're not strong anymore. You're getting older. Like, somebody should be able to talk to you, your wife and your other children, to be like, Dad, like, speak to her. Like, that's your daughter, but it feels like nobody is fighting the cause for you, and you fought it or you can fight it. And for me, I think, start living with it now. Start being like, okay, cool, this man might die and I might never get to talk to him. And you have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
You have to, I know it's such a weird thing, right? When like people fall out and then someone dies and you're like, oh, you must feel so guilty. But like, do you have to?
No, you should. I think it's like an innate thing that you will feel, because like, damn, they're not, I think it's more like they're not here for us to try and repair this. And every day that you were like, squabbling or not talking or whatever, you never envisioned the day where that wasn't a possibility anymore.
Yeah.
So I think it's like more that, because you can't control, especially if someone dies suddenly, you can't, that's completely out of your control and people fall out every day. But I think like what I was trying to say, and I just was not getting the words out, is that, yeah, you can't carry this. Like, at the end of the day, he is saying to you, I don't want anything to do with you. Don't even come to my funeral. To me, that's ending talk. Like, for me, that after someone tells me that and they're literally potentially approaching their funeral, I have to respect that person. I have to respect that person's wishes. Like, how much, like, how
what else can I do? I've been here all the time. I'm doing things in the background. Like, what else can I do?
Knowing that you're fighting for this relationship and the person is actively telling you they don't want it. And it's not because you don't want it. It's not because you've done anything wrong. It's not because you hate your dad. You've even accepted the fact that he hasn't accepted your partner. Like, you're good on all of that. You're just respecting that person's wishes. And I think if it were me, I would fall back.
Yeah. Like, I wasn't talking to my dad before he died. And nothing as big as this at all. Like, my dad died. So the reason why I wasn't talking to my dad, it was my birthday in September. He hadn't wished me happy birthday. And it was like a couple of years of that. And I was just like, this is just a lot. And it was starting to bother me. So that was in September, late September. Then my dad died in November. Obviously, it was a shock. And I wasn't talking to him. I don't think he even knew I wasn't talking to him. I had every intention to talk to my dad again. It was never going to be we're never going to talk again.
Yeah.
Genuinely, I don't think that man knew I wasn't talking to him. I'm sure he just thought, oh, we're cool, whatever. So it wasn't like and it was like maybe a month and a bit before, from my birthday to when he died. And I don't know how much guilt I have in the sense of they're like, oh damn man, blah 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 blah. Again, it's not as deep as your situation at all. But like I think I find comfort in the like, oh no, we were like there were times when we were cool and the love that I felt like I had or what he had or whatever. It was a very complex relationship, so there's more to it. But I just think maybe that's all you have now, the time where you and your dad were cool and you did get on with each other, and that's what you hold on to. Because I don't know how often you can keep breaking your own heart. And I think it would absolutely ruin me to go to your home, you're like see a man who is not well and he still rejects you.
Exactly.
I don't know what else to
That's
do.
what I don't think.
And I think that will be my last thing I'll do. Now that you're ill, if I haven't tried yet, I'm going to come to you because now you know the realities of what's happening in your life. I'm going to come, and if you still reject me, then I'm like, okay, cool, I've done everything.
Yeah, I think that's good advice. I feel like a last ditch attempt to fix things, but go there knowing that he has these really strong feelings.
Also, when you come to if you try to, what does your mum tells you can't come?
He definitely runs a tight ship around there.
Yeah,
it's
because
definitely
he runs a
giving
tight
that
ship.
he is
Yeah,
like,
because your mum should be able to like, no, she's coming. If you don't want, if you like, don't talk to her. My daughter's coming into this house.
Yeah, and it's not for lack of loving you. He doesn't like the choice in partner.
Exactly.
Which is crazy. But I think I would take comfort in that, knowing that like, even though it's a shame, that like it's not about you. Like, and some parents, that really is their thing. Like their thing is like their children are gonna follow in the pattern and the path that they have set out for them, and they just cannot deviate from the ideas that they had for their kids.
And your partner's not a bad person. It's not like, oh, my partner used to beat me, my dad doesn't like him. It's just because it's from a different culture. Please, everyone be for real.
Yeah, I think I would just leave it, I can't lie.
Yeah.
Because if someone was that sick, and you find energy to spew hate at me, you mean it.
Then you mean it. Yeah.
Like you really mean it. And I don't see why you should subject yourself to that personally.
Yeah. And I understand the title of dad, but sometimes that's just a man.
Sometimes it's just a label.
That's just a badly behaved
But
man.
I do think it's worth like seeing if you could go there one more time, because then you know you've done everything.
Yeah.
And then you need to just come to peace with it. And God forbid, like if he does go, you know that you've done you've done everything. Like,
for sure.
Okay, next dilemma.
Next dilemma.
Hi, ladies.
Hello.
I hope you can help me with this. I'm worried about my family.
Okay.
My brother is 30 and still living at home with my mum. I understand that it's hard to move out in the current climate. However, he is making zero effort to have any independence of his own. He had a good job for 5 years, but he was fired for theft, which he admitted to at the time. But he now retells the story as though he was unfairly let go, even though we all remember what happened. He's now been out of work for 2 years. He still asks my mum to borrow money on a weekly basis, and she always gives it to him. Yet somehow he always has money for regular takeaways, cigarettes and clubbing. FYI, my mum is retired and on a very modest pension. He doesn't lift a finger in the house. My mum is always cleaning up after him, and it's really getting her down living like this. Even when it comes to personal hygiene, he showers once a month or so. He smells very bad and just wears the same dirty clothes as he doesn't want to do laundry. We have told him he smells bad and tried for years to suggest he shower more, brush his teeth, do his laundry, but he always dismisses it and says he's okay and doesn't need to.
A 30-year-old man.
Exactly.
Like, I understand young boys that you have to go beg them to shower.
Exactly.
And even then, you make sure they shower
15.
daily. At 30, they are begging you to shower and to brush your mouth. Your mouth is rotten at 30 and you're being advised to wash it and you're saying you're okay.
That's disgusting.
Okay.
It's becoming increasingly difficult to have a conversation with him. Whenever he speaks, he is very argumentative and defensive. We go in circles where he complains about his debts and how everything is set up to make his life difficult. He comes up with excuse after excuse for every job that comes his way. For example, he didn't want to apply for a job that was more than 20-minute commute. So that is a privilege if you've got a job 20 minutes away. Most people don't have a job 20 minutes away. And even people that work from home, sometimes it takes 20 minutes to get downstairs. He also only ever talks about himself and never asks how I am or even how his nieces and nephews are. This has been going on for years now and it's exhausting. It seems like he is digging a huge hole for himself and I feel helpless. My mum can't help but give him money and I think she should stop doing this. However, she feels guilty and finds it hard to say no as he can be quite aggressive towards her. She's been paying for the majority of his bills and subscriptions since he was 18.
Oh my God.
My mum and my brother's relationship is getting increasingly worse and my mum is getting older and more fragile. It's a real worry for me that he will eventually ask to stay with me, which my husband and I do not want, or end up homeless. I've tried speaking to him countless times over the years, but none of it has worked. In fact, things seem to get worse as time goes on. Grateful for any advice you can give. Thank you so much.
I can't. Like, this has to be your mum's pop. Like, that's your mum's son, innit? Like,
yeah.
Like, there are some men that turn up a certain way because somebody has just allowed them to be like that for years and years and years. And like, again, not to even blame your mum, but this is your mum's son and she has reared him in this way. Because why is it you that her daughter, you have found a way to be independent and make things sense and shower more than once a month and brush your teeth? You're both brought up in the same household. Basically, he's always known that his mum is always going to be there. His mum's going to help. Like, apparently, word is every family has a loser sibling. Apparently.
I feel like that's probably kind of true.
Apparently. And many of these quote unquote loser siblings, they are egged on by the parents, just letting them be that. Like they are, like the mum just lets them be that. And it's not necessarily about a money thing. Sometimes you've got a badly behaved sibling because this sibling, like our parents always just let them get away with it. They're the sibling who's rude, they're the sibling who's selfish, and the sibling who just does mad things. And for years and years, everybody's let them do it. And honestly, you have to let this boy be the architect of his own downfall. When and if your mum kicks him out or if he's unable to live with your mum again, there is absolutely no way you should let him anywhere near your front door, let alone allowed to move in.
Definitely not.
Some people need to get to the ground to be able to realise the only way is up.
Yep.
Because if he's always got a crutch, he's never going to change. He's always going to be able to get a delivery. He's always going to be able to get a takeaway. He's always got a home. Someone's always
Mind
cleaning
you,
up
these
for
are
him.
all privileges.
He's always got a crutch, so he's never going to want to work harder. And you were so, like you said it to him till the cows come home. You repeated yourself. You told him he gets defensive, he gets aggressive. You must stop taking paracetamol for his headache now. And I know it's hard. It's your siblings. I say that as someone, if anything's going on with my sister, it actually feels like it's happening to me personally. So I understand that, like, how hard this must be. But if that's your son, this is what you raised, and that's what he's showing you to become.
Do you know what though? I think we're going to see this very differently based on our positions. You're very much talking as the youngest.
Yeah. So I don't give a shit. Yeah.
I'm going to talk from the position as a big sister, as someone who also has a brother. And I definitely think that he is this way because of the way he's been parented. And I don't know how many siblings you've got. I don't know where he falls in line. But if he is the youngest and the only boy, then he's 1,000,000% been spoiled and has been allowed to get away with stuff and has never been held accountable. And I definitely think that this is why, when I'm always harping on about raising children the same, this is the outcome of what it looks like when, you know, there's that saying, we raise girls and we love boys. And this is exactly the visual representation of what happens when girls are raised and boys are loved, because it's different. And, you know, and I don't know your household, but I know in a lot of households, girls and boys are treated and raised differently, and then there's different outcomes. I do think she has a duty of care to help her brother out. And it feels really unfair because at the end of the day, it's not her kid and it's definitely her mum's responsibility. But I understand that thing of like, you feel so sorry for your mum. She wants to retire and she is retired and she just wants to relax. And now she's got this grown man child in her house, giving him money and doing all of that. Like, I can imagine as a big sister, that is not nice to witness. But I think that she actually does need to step up. And
what does that look like?
Like, you're going to have to and I know she says she's talked to him, but you have to give him tough love. Like, I think that what you have to do is you have to, first and foremost, all of this stuff, you have to talk to him and get to the bottom of whether there is some sort of mental health situation going on. I feel like that's always going to be the number one thing, because if you can get your brother to open up to you, and I get it, my brothers are around the same age, and I'm really close with my brother. Like, my sister has more of like a no-nonsense kind of approach to him. So sometimes they bump heads, but I will always be the one to like talk to my brother on a level, call him outside of like, oh, he's had an argument with my mum and someone's interjecting or whatever, like try and like have that sort of relationship so that he can open up to you. So I feel like you do need to do that, and I've had to do that. Like, is everything okay? Like, are you well? Because I think that if he's always been unhygienic and stuff like that, then that's different. But if it's something that suddenly happens, then there might be some mental health issues. If you get to the bottom of it and you identify that there's nothing going on and this is someone that is purely spoiled, entitled, and just lazy, then you need to get on that ass, unfortunately. And I think that you and your mum need to band together and be like, look, this has gone far enough, because now it's like trickling down into your life.
But I feel like it feels like she said that they've done that.
But there's talking and there's talking. Is there like, are you sending the odd text message and just being like, listen, mum's not happy with you, again, like fix up, blah, blah, blah. Or are you actually like really doing the things. I feel like they're two different things. One way is going to be ineffective. It's going to go in one ear and come out the other. The other one, you're actually going to get together with your mum. You're going to say, Mum, you actually need to have a backbone. Because if the mum keeps on pandering to him, he's never going to change. Like you said, the reason why he's like this is usually not because people are incapable, but because they have crutches. They have crutches. Like he had a job for 5 years. He's clearly capable.
You got done for theft.
Of holding. Exactly. Like you're clearly capable of holding down a job. You're clearly able, but like you clearly have all the things going for you to be able to work.
And it's always people like this that like, I can never do that kind of job.
Exactly.
No, I can't work.
Always.
It's always
because
the ones that
what the hell do you mean you're not prepared to travel more than 20 minutes?
They're never the ones that they can't work for Amazon. They can't do delivery.
Traveling 20 minutes unless you work remotely. Like who? Everybody is working more than 20 minutes away. Okay, so you need to like that one. Like a beggar has no choice, as my mum likes to say. Like what the hell? Like, but you need to sit down with the mum and be like, listen, I'll help you. Like I'm actually going to step up. I'm going to help you, but you actually need to be in partnership with the mum, right? So the mum, you cannot fund his lifestyle. You need to put your foot down. Things like Deliveroo and him going out clubbing. I am so fucking sorry.
Joking?
That is an absolute privilege.
And does he shower before those
You are not
nights?
working. You're not helping out around the house, but you've got money and you want money to buy Deliveroo. We've normalised takeaway. And listen, I know the message is right. The messenger is not, okay? I buy groceries to cook, okay? Takeaway used to be a luxury. Do you remember back in the day when you used to get takeaways and it used to just be a Friday night treat?
Yes.
But now it's becoming
and that wasn't even every Friday. That was a Friday a month that we're getting takeaways. And I think how we're living has actually got people screwed up to think how life is. It's not normal to get takeaway every single day. It's actually it's a luxury. To have salmon on your shopping list is actually not.
Exactly.
It's actually a luxury.
No, make takeaways luxury again, and let's not normalize eating them every day. Because what do you mean? You're at home, so that means you've got the time and you've got the capacity to just cook. There's no reason why you haven't worked a long day.
Like your brother is a victim of economy and the world. It's economy of his own circumstances.
Exactly.
It's him. He's the architect of his own downfall. It's not because this is different. If you're like he's applied for so many jobs, he keeps getting no's.
Yeah.
He's at home, but he's always helping my mum out. This is a different dilemma, but. He's not doing any of that and he's refusing to do it.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's like manosphering.
That's why I don't.
Because the entitlement and the energy, the audacity to be aggressive.
And then you're now aggressive towards your mum.
Exactly. Like I feel like only someone that's consuming that kind of content would act out that way.
No, you'd be surprised, George.
Like, because that is insane. But I said all that to say, partner up with your mum, put your foot down with your mum. Be like, I'll help you, but we need to be like on the same page. You're not helping him out. You're not giving him no money. Let him be down and out. People like that will always find a way because he has the abilities. And then you need to like soft threaten him and say like, mum's selling the house. Like mum's seriously contemplating selling the house. Like you need to get your shit together and really just hold him accountable. Like hold him to account for his actions and really be the one to step in because I think your mum is set in her ways. She has guilt. She sees him day in and day out kind of being useless. So she probably doesn't really know how to approach it. You're more on a level with him. I think you're going to have to take this task on. That's 100%. I've done it and I would do it. And because sometimes it's just out of the mum's hands. And like for me, I'm the kind of person that if like my brother or my sisters like argue with my mum, it doesn't sit well with me. Like I feel so guilty. I feel like shit. I feel like I have to be the fixer. Like I proper come in like Olivia Pope and I'm the fixer. Like, and I have to resolve it and try and find solutions. I feel like that is like my duty.
It's an older sibling thing for sure. You're right. We're definitely gonna have different reactions to it. So that's the younger one. I'll be like,
Yeah, exactly.
What's my own? That's the child you raised, and that's what you got.
Yeah, exactly. So that's personally what I would do. I think you're gonna have to take this one on, and and when you do, and he comes out on the other side, because again, I've been there, and it's beautiful when it happens and they come out on the other side. Like it really is, and then you're just like, yay me, and you see the dynamics change. Mum's happy, he's happy, blah blah blah.
But 30-year-old,
I know
it's not young.
It's a shame because you're a grown ass man. But if he's been raised this way and he's been raised spoiled, then technically it's not actually really his fault.
And it's his mum's fault. She's suffering the circumstances of her actions. The consequences of her actions.
It's true.
That's the child you raise. That's what. And if that's not the case, and he's just being a wayward person, then again, that he's gonna have to face it one day. And And I think eventually you have to stop saving people.
Yeah, I do think he should hit rock bottom though.
You have to stop saving him.
I do think he should hit rock bottom because he
what
will
do you
be
mean
fine.
you're already not, and you're saying you're being picky about what you do? So they're telling you to brush your teeth.
Exactly. I mean, come on.
Again, as long as he's not going through some kind of mental health crisis, they're telling you to brush your teeth and bath more than once a month. You're being told you smell bad.
I saw a thingy, Sophie Habib or whatever, and Jamie Lang, a clip of their podcast, and she was like talking about how one time they went to a festival and he didn't brush his teeth the whole weekend. And did you see that? And then how like she said that he had the audacity to talk, and Jamie's quite an animated person, isn't it? And she said that she was like, the stench that came out of your mouth was...
Was this before or after they got married?
After.
Because I could never marry a man.
Yeah, this is
if that happens to me before, that guy's like, oh, okay, cool. I know your behaviour. Like
she said he did not brush his teeth or bathe, and Jamie was just laughing and cackling in the background. He thought it was so
funny. What's funny?
And she just looked so disgusted. I was like, that is disgusting. I was like,
that was actually funny.
That is disgusting.
Are you a teenage boy?
Because what do you mean you were at a festival and you didn't brush your teeth the whole entire time?
Because it's only teenage boys that they have to beg to shower. And even once you beg them, they'll now be there for 4 hours.
Exactly. Ugh, yuck.
All right, next dilemma. Hi, I'd really appreciate some advice because this is something I've been struggling with for a long time. I'm a 23-year-old woman from a very religious and strict West African background. Growing up, my life was quite sheltered. I wasn't allowed to go out much, and there was always a strong focus on discipline, family expectations, and staying on the right path. On top of that, I was bullied as a teenager, and I grew up in an area where no one really looked like me. Because of that, I internalized a lot of negative beliefs about myself. I generally thought I was unattractive and not worthy of attention. Romance always felt like something distant and almost magical, but not something meant for me. Boys felt intimidating and avoided interacting with them altogether. There was also a lot going on at home emotionally, so relationships were never something I even allowed myself to think about. Fast forward to university. I'm now in my final year, and while I've grown a lot as a person and met new people, my romantic life is basically non-existent. I've never been in a relationship, never kissed anybody, never held hands, nothing. I've had a few situationships, but they've never really gone anywhere, and most of them have left me feeling rejected and confused. What makes it harder is being surrounded by friends who are constantly dating, talking to people, being taken out, receiving attention, and experiencing all of these romantic moments. I'm genuinely happy for them, and I always hype them up. But I feel, if I'm being honest, I feel jealous. It's hard not to wonder, when is it going to be my turn? In every friendship group, I'm always the one who has nothing to share when it comes to relationship. It makes me feel left behind and sometimes even invincible. Because of repeated disappointment, I started to shut myself off from anything to do with guys. It feels easier to avoid it altogether than to keep getting hurt. But deep down, I do want to experience love, connection, and romance. I just don't know how to get there, even if it's meant for me. So my dilemma is, how do I deal with these feelings of jealousy and inadequacy while still supporting my friends? And how do I open myself up to the possibility of love when my past has made me feel so unworthy of it? Thank you.
Oh, you're 23, so yeah, I think like when we get dilemmas like this, I think what we forget is that things happen at different stages for different people. And like, you know, it just hasn't been your time yet. And I don't want you to think that you're abnormal or that everybody by the age of 21 has a checklist of all of these things and they must have done it. I must have kissed. I must have had sex. I must have experienced butterflies. Like, that's not reality. That's not life. And you've got to take into consideration your context as well. Like, you grew up in a strict African household, which means that you probably weren't exposed to a lot of things because you had tight deadlines, you had curfew. You
probably had to chat to boys.
Exactly, you were hyper-focused on education. Like, allow your context to also dictate what your life experience has been. And so it's not for lack of attractiveness. It's not because you're not pretty. It's just because you haven't been exposed to these things. A lot of people that have these experiences is because, like, they've just been exposed to it for whatever reason, whatever their context is, they've been exposed to it. So I really think that you should be kinder to yourself in just accepting that the way you've been brought up has played a part in that. And that is, I'm not saying it's a good thing, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's just what it is. And I think that, like, comparison really is the thief of joy. I feel like a lot of the time, the reason why we are so hard on ourselves or place all these unrealistic expectations. Sometimes it's not even because we truly feel a way about it. Sometimes we haven't even reconciled with how we feel about certain things, but it's because we see other people, and so therefore we think that we should be at exactly the same pace and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, your friends are having these experiences. You too will have your experiences. You too will have stories to tell and experiences to share and all the rest of it. It just hasn't happened yet.
And it's annoying because at that age, that is all they
that
talk
is, so
about.
I was going to say, like,
I was at that age. In fact, honestly, if you're in the wrong group of friends at any age, if you're around women, all it is men and what you're dating.
Especially at that age.
And it is jarring because it's like, fuck, there must be something else. Like, I have gone so the other way. I don't tell anybody shit, even when things are on and popping, because I'm just like, it's not the most interesting thing about me. Please, stop acting like it's the most. You could be going through, life could be dealing with you. Someone's like, say, you're talking to anyone at the moment. Is everybody actually fucking okay?
Yeah.
Like, you haven't seen me in 10 months. Like, and your first, let's all be for real. And even at that age, it's so much worse. Because that is
so
all
much worse.
Everybody is talking about. So I completely understand. And also, like, again, I know jealousy is a bad trait, quote unquote. It's like, but also jealousy is really good at making you see what it is that you want. You're rarely ever jealous of things that you don't want, right? And this is what you want, and it's okay that you want it. And I think now, once you accept that that's what you want, work towards it. You want to date more, you have to open yourself to the idea of love coming your way. Is it if it's dating sites, if it's when you go out, you chat to guys that you see there, like. But also give yourself grace, because you have to remember that, like, you just started. These girls probably started, and again, this is no shade to the girls, probably started about 14 when we all started being like, oh yeah, like, actually, by probably about 11, I knew how to rock a man's world. Not a man, like a boy. Like, an 11-year-old boy. And I mean, rocking, like, I knew how to be like, hey, you're so like, run around and bake it, like because I don't know, you just...
It happens,
just how you were, whatever age you were, like, so... You have to give yourself grace to know that you don't know how to flirt. You don't know how to do any of these things because you're just starting off now. So what you're starting at 23, people started it at 14. So they know how to flirt with guys. And they're like, oh, shut up, you're so silly. They know how to, they've mastered that because that was what all their teenage years were. Their teenage years was going to the shopping centre and wait for guys to walk past. It was being like, do you know what I mean? It's waiting for guys to chat you up. It was like working at Foot Locker and chat, and you and the guy who you worked with used to flirt with each other, working in like retail. It became a part of their lives, but because you were so sheltered, you don't know how to run these things. So realize that you're just starting at 23, and it's okay that you feel jealous. Don't feel jealous, and then on top of that, make yourself feel bad for feeling jealous. You're just accept the feeling. Just stop berating yourself. Everything you're feeling is fine, it's normal. You don't need to add a berating yourself onto that list of to do. There's already enough to do.
Exactly. Strike that one off the
Don't
list.
add that one to it. Like, take your time and just watch your friends who you think are good at it. Talk to your friends honestly, to be like, oh girls, I don't really know anything about, but like, how do I chat to this guy? I like this guy. And that's what it should be. That's what friendship is about. Like, what do I reply? How do I chat to this guy? What should I say to his DMs? Like, ask them.
Exactly. And also, like, use it as an opportunity to, like, learn from some of the L's. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure some of your friends, all their stories are not rosy and all perfect and stuff like that. Use it as a learning opportunity to be like, okay, this situation didn't work out here, blah, blah, blah. Like, you can kind of like be at an advantage with certain things because you haven't experienced it yet. And also, it's all to come because it's going to happen. It's part of life. So just look forwards to when it does happen, but also, like, be active because you're saying that these are the things you want. You have to be active. Like, you can't just wait for it to come to you. And a lot of these things start with confidence, man. A lot of experiences start with having the confidence to do something, whether it's to go to an event by yourself, whether it's to approach someone, like, and that's not necessarily just romantic, it's just any situation. Like, if you're confident in it, then you usually find the outcome will work in your favor. So start off small, start small and build yourself up, and you'll see that these things will kind of just happen naturally, but just be easier on yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, next dilemma.
Next.
Hi, gorgeous girlies.
Hello.
I know this is a cliche question, but what should I do if I have the perfect guy? Literally perfect in all areas, but his dick is small. And she even did this emoji. If the case was he wasn't good in bed, he can always learn, but there's really nothing he can do about size. And I've had much bigger, and I think if we get married, the best sex I'd had / miss would be with someone else. Marriage is a lifetime. Note that we are not having sex before marriage, but I've seen it erect and it's really small. Please help. I love you guys so much.
Wahala.
Wait, hang on. So have they had sex yet?
They haven't had sex yet. So she
Oh,
doesn't
then
know.
girl, what's the issue?
Because well, there is a fucking big issue because she's not going to have sex until she gets married. So what if she does have sex with him?
And then it's really small.
And then it's not only just small, it's not active. She's seen it.
She's seen it erect. Okay, listen, I really think that, ideology of a really big penis is...
She's just asking it to be average.
It's not real. Like, I don't...
Yeah, but it's not even like it's average. It's really... She said...
But she didn't say micro penis. If it was a micro penis, then that's different. It's just a small penis, regular size penis, right? Or not regular size.
She would have said regular.
It's on the smaller
she did
side.
This.
I think
I'm imagining micro. I'm imagining
but the
micro.
thing is, I don't believe, that you can fully gauge how big someone is just through their trousers and all the rest of it.
She's seen it erect. What else do you want her to say?
I'm trying to
everything you said. She said the opposite.
I'm trying to throw a bone. I'm trying to throw the poor guy a bone, literally. Yeah, sorry, hon.
Not even seen it on soft, erected.
And she's seen it out. With his boxes down. In daylight.
Yes.
During golden hour.
Whatever. With the white lighting and the camera being in the right spot.
No. Okay, fair enough.
Have you seen it with his pubes shaved?
Yeah, exactly. Has he manscaped?
Has he shaved his
That
pubes?
would definitely add some length.
Because that does add a bit of length. Perspective is important here. What angle did you see? Was it straight on or to the side?
Exactly. I think
that man has a small dick.
I actually think it's like for real though. No, okay. Now that we've established all of that stuff, I think I still stand by the fact that like it's not the size of the prize. It's the ocean. It's the motion in the ocean. It's not how big it is. It's what he can do with it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
she's not going to know that until she's married.
This is the thing, but I don't think,
So you're telling her to have sex before marriage?
I don't think the penis size means that it's automatically going to be bad sex.
Okay, so 50-50. She should just risk it and just marry him.
She said he's perfect, apart from his dick size. A big penis does not guarantee. If it's because you just want to look at a big penis, then you're going to have to change your preferences, hon. Like, change your preferences. That's okay. We change our preferences all the time, okay? If it's because you want to look at a big penis, I don't think that that's that deep. If it's because you think that a big penis automatically means that the sex is going to be bad, I'm here to educate you and tell you that that's not always the case. It is just not. Sometimes small guys that are not well endowed are good performers.
Honestly.
I really believe that. I just don't think that the myth of the giant penis has lived up to all its hype.
She's not asking for giant.
Okay, big.
Normal. Average.
I mean, listen,
not normal, not saying normal, average.
To me, he's the perfect guy. And that would be a risk worth taking for me. Because you can still have good sex.
Look, ultimately, it's that 80-20 thing, isn't it? You're not going to find someone that has it all, right? And you just have to decide what they don't have. Look, pick your hard.
Yeah, literally.
I mean,
literally
pick your hard. Things are going to be hard. There's going to be shit sides in the relationship. Pick your shit. Pick your hard, pick your small, pick your big. And if this is too important to you, that's like, do you know what? Disregards anything else, fair. But if it's like, no, he's perfect and this is going to be our hard,
big sister, I
then
can't
this is our hard.
I can't tell her fair. As her big sister, I can't say, if this is like penis size should not matter that much to the point where everything else is perfect. Yeah. And I'm not saying that women shouldn't have their standards. They definitely should. But with the penis, again, it's about what they can do with it.
Okay. So you can do all of it. If I can't feel it, what can you do with it? If I physically do not know what's inside of me, what do you want me to do with it? Look, you just have to be okay with your whole life. Like the greatest sensation is fingering.
And oral.
Yeah, there's other
you
things.
can still have a great sex life with a small penis. And I'm not talking from experience. Okay? I'm just saying, I'm just saying, because, do you know what it is? If it's because she said he's literally perfect. So for me, personally, that's not my hill. The size of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Pick her hill. If it's
that's not my hill.
Yeah, you have to pick your
So I just
hard.
think that, the pickings are very slim. You said that you've got a perfect guy. If the penis is not micro and it's just below average and on the smaller side, below average to smaller, you can work with that. And if not, you can substitute it. That's disrespectful, though.
You think you can give a small penis guy a dildo to use with you? That's
disrespectful. I was gonna say
that is gonna cause problems that you don't want to cause. But also, what if you just desire? I mean, you have to do it on the low.
You tell him to put a strap on. Oh my God, that would be so rude if he's actually got a penis in his Hey, put this
Telling
on.
someone with a penis to be like, hey, do you mind actually wearing this one instead? I don't want to use yours.
It's an extension.
Crazy one.
No, that's actually crazy. I bet they've got those though.
What?
Like strap-on extensions. So you just put it on the end of theirs and it just makes it look bigger.
Help! I'm sleeping with my nail tech's brother.
Oh my God, that's not that deep.
Okay, it's not that deep. Yeah. Hi, girls. I just want to get straight into the situation and I would greatly appreciate your advice.
No love.
So it starts in 2024. I was straight out of a 3-year relationship because he was cheating and I was ready to be young, hot and free. I've been good friends with my nail tech for 3 years at this point. Let's call her Annie. We have a great relationship and we have recently started getting closer as of 2026. Now we go on holidays and see each other several times a week. I really consider her my best friend. So our friendship is now going on 6 years. So back in 2024, I went on a girls' trip to Cancun. It was so good. We ended up meeting some guys that actually lived in the same area as us in London, but we have never met before. I connected with one person in particular, let's call him Alex. We really connected. And this was the second night of a 7-night trip. He was tall, dark, and handsome, and so my type. We went back to his villa at that same night and only kissed. That is when he told me his second name, and I asked him if he had an older sister, is Annie, and he said yes. I was shocked, but unfortunately it didn't stop anything, LOL. So on the third night, we went to the beach club together. We ended up being really drunk and we slept with each other. The next day after, it was like our bond grew stronger. He was 2 years younger than me, as I was 23 at the time and he was 21. We had a great next few days as I practically moved into his villa with him. He only took care of me for the next few days, making sure my needs were met in every aspect. Now we were back in London and 2 days later, he called me and asked me if I wanted to come out for food. So we went out and we kicked it off even more. He spoiled me and got me gifts. And every time I saw him like 3 times a week in the summer. So after summer, things slowed down and we kind of drifted apart and it really hurt me. I really did fall in love with him. And when we stopped talking, I was so heartbroken to the point I practically stopped eating and lost 20 kg in a space of 6 months. We always told each other, I love you, but I always told him I can't be in a relationship right now because I just came out of one. And also the fact of me being friends with his sister whilst his sister knew nothing about us, which I would say was like me shooting myself in the foot because I knew he wanted that, but I couldn't give it to him. Fast forward 2 years, I'm now besties with his sister and I've kind of moved on-ish. Alex is still in contact with my mum and my brother as he got to know them during our short situationship, unfortunately. I know, he should have never met them, but to be fair, they didn't know we were fucking, they just thought we were great friends. During the 2 years of not talking, he would give my mum birthday gifts, and my brother as well. It really annoyed me because did I ever say we were fatherless? And when it was my birthday, I didn't even get a message or a card, even though I'd blocked him. But he knew my address and he knew how to drive up to give my mum and brother gifts in person. So now, 2026, he called me and he really wants things to go back to how it was. The truth is, I still really love him and I would love for this to work out, but I love my newfound friendship with Annie and I would hate to lose it. We have gotten so much deeper and closer in the friendship and it's lasted way longer than I thought and I see it being forever. I really feel like I found my forever sister. I don't know if it's worth taking the risk for, and to be fair, I don't even know how Annie would react. But what if she reacts in a positive way? But if it's negative, that will be catastrophic. And I would just be a whore friend who was sleeping with her brother behind her back. No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, exactly.
You were sleeping behind her brother, but you wouldn't be a whore. The other option was just to not give Alex another chance as he really fucked me over and broke my heart so badly. I need your advice, please. Sorry for the long dilemma. Love you lots.
Do you know what, yeah? Right at the very end, you gave me my answer. I feel like don't go back because he fucked you over, not because it's your friend's sister, friend's brother. Because at the end of the day, when you met him and all of this kicked off, you didn't know that was his sister. Mm-hmm. If I even had a suspicion, I would not even ask, because I would be able to run with. I would run with that I didn't know for so long, but alas, we moved. That was ages ago. I feel like you were really quite down bad with, the situation, and I think for that. And the fact that you're really worried about the friendship, I think that if there wasn't the heartbreak element and he didn't really hurt you, then I would say, go for it and just be honest with your friend. Like, at the end of the day, the worst thing she can say is that I'm uncomfortable with it. Sometimes in these situations, people are actually happy.
They're like, whatever.
They're like, whatever, or they're unbothered and blah, blah, blah. Like, at the end of the day, you didn't do anything behind her back. As the friendship evolved, you weren't fucking with him.
Exactly.
So you've done nothing wrong in that sense. Have you omitted some information? Yeah, but there was nothing to tell because you guys weren't seeing each other.
And also you and her weren't that close.
Yeah, exactly.
I think there was a thing of them like, we're getting closer now, so I'm going to tell you this. I don't know if it said like, you want to tell her it happened or whatever. If you want to get back with him, because not to be fair, but you did tell him you didn't want a relationship and he wanted it. So he was like, okay, cool, I'm out now. So now you're in a different space and you say you still love him. I'll just tell Anya to be like, babe, there's something I need to tell you. Do you know what, ages ago, me and your brother were talking or dating or whatever. Like we weren't that close and me and him wasn't anything serious. I didn't see it worth telling you. I said
and also it's random.
I'll just tell her the story.
You literally met him on holiday. It was completely random and out of the blue. It's not like you
went to her house when she was doing your nails and you went to go find him.
Like, your brother's cute and then you were like, being sneaky. It was none of that. Like, it was a very organic situation that sounds made up, but it's actually very real. So I think test the waters with it. I think if she's like completely against it and you feel like it's not worth it, then fair. But I think you owe it to yourself to try because you said that you're still in love with him.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Yeah, I think I would just say it.
Yeah, same. Okay, next dilemma. Hey ladies,
hello.
I love this podcast. I love you. The only one I listen to, actually even attended one of your shows. You're both gorgeous.
Thank
I
you.
look forward to Wednesdays each week and I'm forever cackling at you both.
Thank you, honey.
So I'm in a difficult situation with a close friend and I'm unsure what the right thing to do is. For context, I'm not someone who usually leans heavily on friends when I'm going through things, but over the past few years, I was dealing with large fibroids, which made me very uncomfortable and affected my confidence. After many cancellations and delays with the NHS, I finally got a surgery date to have them removed. This friend knew everything. She saw me cry about it and she knew how much it had been affecting me. At the same time, my dad had been battling cancer for a few years, which she also knew about. Sadly, he passed away just 3 days before my fibroid removal surgery, so a very intense time for me. This friend is someone who I've always shown up for consistently to the point where she made me the godmother of her child. Because of that, I guess I expected a bit more support during this time.
Yeah.
She lives about a 10-minute drive away, but she never came to see me, called me once, and would sometimes take days to reply. When she did message, it was usually things like, let me know if you need anything or call me when you can. For some reason, those phrases really frustrated me. It felt very distant. She said that she'd been praying for me, but I don't know, it just pissed me off too.
Yep.
Eventually, I told her how I felt. The conversation stayed respectful on both sides, but she said she thought she was supporting me in the best way she knew how. She also said people grieve differently, and that because I didn't respond to the let me know what you need messages, she assumed I just needed space. Yeah, you assumed. She also mentioned she thought the surgery was minor, as in she said the word, she thought the surgery was minor, which really set me off. At that point, I felt so hurt. I ended the friendship and removed her from social media. Yeah. Told her to go watch videos on surgery recovery and how to be there for a grieving friend. It's been about 2 to 3 months and we haven't spoken since. My dilemma now is that, well, I guess I'm still the godmother of her child. I don't want to be the kind of godparent who disappears from a child's life, but I also don't know how to show up in that role if I'm no longer friends with the mother. So my question is, do I just move on with life or do I need to say something about it? Like, I can't imagine being a present godmother without having a relationship with the parent. I also do not want to make up. So any advice, please, and thank you.
I will not lie to you. There was a kid who I'm godmother to that I have not seen in last.
Yeah. I hear it.
Probably about. I mean, I was made a god. Like it was that very much like we were teenagers.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I think she had him when she was like 17, and we were close friends at the time. And she had him to godmother. I said, yeah, I don't think I've seen that kid in the last 17 years. Like, as in, that kid doesn't know who I am. Because when we fell out, I honestly do believe, especially when the kid is young, if you were like, your godson was 18 and you don't,
Yeah, you've got your own relationship.
You've got your own relationship, cool. But if the kid is young, if you're not friends with the godmother, I'm sorry, if you're not friends with the mother, you're not.
I think it's right to assume that
you're no longer
not
godmother
the
anymore.
godmother.
Yeah, I think so.
And I think there's I think it would be weird. There's no way, because to have access to that child, you need. The whole point of a godparent is that you would be there, you would be potentially be someone that could step up if something was to happen to that parent.
You don't know what's going on. You're not talking to her.
So you've got no idea what's going on in her life.
Also, even her as a mother, probably doesn't even trust you. If you're not her friend, she doesn't trust you to have her child.
There's just absolutely...
I'm so sorry, but you just have to forget about the child. I know that sounds mad and insensitive, but
yeah, it's through the relationship with the parent that the role is a thing.
Exactly.
So I don't think that the two can't they two have to coexist.
Especially if the kid is young and it's not like you're not talking, but you think you're going to chill with my kid. It's not possible.
It's never going to happen. Or you're not going to call me to speak to the kid. It's just too weird.
It's not possible.
So you just have to cut ties, unfortunately, with all thingies. But
especially when you said you don't want to make up. And honestly, I'm for what you're doing, but I'm actually, the older I've got, especially people who I consider a close friend, zero tolerance now. So we're all grown up.
No excuses.
We know how to be there for someone. We know how to.
Conversations now.
How many times do I need to tell you that you did this thing, you hurt? As soon as you've had that conversation once and there hasn't been someone's changed, just accept that you go to different tier of friendship now.
Yeah, exactly. You've been lowered.
And it's actually okay to have tiers of friendship.
100%. And also, I rate it because you actually spoke to her.
Yeah,
a lot of the times we get these dilemmas and people haven't even had the conversation and they're asking us. And the first thing to do is talk to the person. And it sounded like she was kind of not defensive, but she just wasn't getting it. And she wasn't prepared to take accountability. I think, the fact that you don't want the friendship says a lot. But what I will say is that if there's ever a world in which you see them and if you see them out and about or whatever, you're at a mutual friends thing and you see the child, acknowledge the child.
Yes, definitely. Hard agree.
100% acknowledge the child, because I've got a friend that's been in that situation and she was really hurt because they weren't friends anymore, but she didn't acknowledge her child and she was a godparent.
I find it weird to not acknowledge children.
Same.
I think people, when you're on a train and a kid is saying hi and people who don't say hi back, I think they're monsters.
Exactly.
What do you mean a kid is saying hi and you're just looking?
And you're just looking at them.
Yeah. You better wave. Yeah. Do you know them kids that say goodbye when they get off the train? They'll just you better wave and say goodbye to them.
It's so mean.
When I'm in a car and I see kids driving in the coach and I wave right back to them. So what do you mean? Hi, they're children.
Exactly, because it probably hurt their little feelings.
Yeah, let alone the kid you loved at one point and then you see the kid and you don't. Unless I say hi to the kid, the woman's I don't fucking chat to my kid. And I'm like,
then that's different. But then you tried and you know the boundary and next time you don't do it again. But you don't not acknowledge the child for at least the first time anyway. But yeah, I think you just.
But forget, that's not your grandbaby anymore.
Yeah,
the grandbaby is the baby. The grandma is the baby. Exactly. That's not your godson anymore.
Mind you, she's probably already allocated a new godmother.
Yeah, it's cool. It is what it is, babe.
So yeah.
All right, next and last?
Next and last, baby.
Let's go. Okay, there is a trigger warning to this for sexual assault. Okay. Good day, lovely ladies. Thanks for all of the entertainment you've brought us over the near decade. Please know your supporters like me are begging for another 10. Well, I guess you haven't seen the news. You haven't heard the news. I need you both to know how relevant and essential your voices are. Tolly, you are such a role model, and whenever I feel like I'm too tired to grind, I think, what would Tolly do? Audrey, man, you are a force, and there is a new softness to you after having your gorgeous girl. The episode where you spoke about your fears truly struck a chord with me. What you have both created is not just entertainment, it's sisterhood. The lives you shaped, healed, and guided are forever indebted to you. Thank you. I can understand coming and chatting every week can become tiresome, but don't you ever forget how many lives you have touched. It is important that you guys really feel this. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The topic I'm about to discuss is very heavy, and I really hope you guys answer my dilemma because I'm at my wit's end. In 2022, my brother was charged and found guilty of rape. The evidence was overwhelming and graphic. I'm so ashamed that he could do such an awful thing. He is now currently in prison, which is where he belongs. I have no empathy for someone who could harm another person, especially another woman. The issue for me is my lack of support caused massive tension between my parents and I. They are of West African descent and very strong in their beliefs that their baby boy just made a mistake and that his sentence was too harsh. I tried asking them how would they feel if someone harmed me this way, which they could never answer. Whenever I tried to get them to understand the destruction of his actions, the conversation soon ends with me walking away feeling like an awful person. The issue around his case has basically caused big fallout within my family too. My aunts and uncles have legitimately stopped speaking to my family, even me. It's to the point I haven't seen my parents since 2024. We speak weekly on the phone because I want to make sure they're okay. It is always me doing the legwork. I understand a parent can't cut themselves off from their child, and it's a love at 29 I currently can't understand, but as time goes on, I find myself becoming really angry. It scares me. I feel like I'm walking around with a scarlet A on my clothes, like I did something bad. The anger steams from the fact that I feel I'm their child too, and although he's a few years younger than me, I'm still also their baby. I find myself getting irrationally angry that if I don't fall in line and swim to their stance, it was a mistake, I'll become an orphan in this life. It was not a mistake. I believe in rehabilitation, but my brother has not an ounce of understanding of what shit he's caused. I've lost my only sibling to this hideous crime, and now my parents also. I've been in a relationship for 6 years and we plan to marry this June. My fiancé understands that because of all of this trauma, I may not want kids, but would love to foster. He understood and respected me throughout all of this mess. If I ever did have a child, I wouldn't trust my parents around them. Hypothetically, of course, but I don't think about it all the time. There is something in me that wants to make amends, but my spirit won't allow me because I'm strong in my convictions, and also he doesn't even act like he that is apologetic to all of the fallout he has caused. My parents stay sending him money weekly, so he has money in his prison account, and they visit him every other week. They post him clothes and trainers he wants for nothing, yet I'm barely surviving in this economy, and we want to buy a house before our wedding. My fiancé really does look out for me, and we are a great team. But I often feel shame around his family, as I know everyone knows my brother's crimes. I work a good job and I have my own things, but sometimes I find myself being jealous of the attention and limitless love my brother is receiving. I've spoken to God about this almost every night, asking for guidance, but I always wake up with a heavy heart. I'm so angry. I don't want to cut my parents off, but I truly don't understand how they can be in my life without this massive cloud. I just feel very confused, angry and lost. I'm not quite sure what I'm looking for this dilemma, but it's not something I enjoy talking about with my friends because it's so heavy.
Oh gosh, that is so heavy, man. Like, I feel like when these things happen, like no one thinks about the fallout and the impact on the people, you know, in the families and blah, blah, blah. And like, you become ostracized and you become sort of tarred with the same brush. I love the fact that you are not like blindly supporting your brother, and you have acknowledged that what he's done is disgusting, and he's being punished the right way that he should be and receiving the punishment that he deserves. But at the same time, you shouldn't have to wear that scarlet letter, and because you didn't do it.
You didn't do anything.
You didn't do anything. You are not guilty of this crime. You're guilty of him just being your brother. That is literally it. And I think that when it comes to your parents, I think unfortunately they just don't have an understanding of like rape culture, and in this case it's actual rape. Do you know what I mean?
But I feel like because when she says, if someone did this to me, you can't answer. You know what he did is hideous.
Yeah, they know that what he did is wrong, but they don't have the knowledge and I'm not justifying any of this stuff, but like they just don't have the information at their disposal that we have. They just don't have the understanding that we have of like how heinous and how big these things are and the impact of it. And so, you know, I can imagine how seeing them rally around your brother at a time like this, when it's like, actually, what about me? Like, why am I not being comforted? Why is no one? But I think that maybe what you're asking and expecting of old school African parents is just not something, they just don't have the ability. That's just not, they just don't know. Like, there's only so much people can do with the information that they have, you know, with the knowledge that they have. I don't think you're going to get that kind of support, that kind of like emotional support and the check-ins and all of that, because as far as they're concerned, your brother's the one in jail, so he needs the extra attention. And I feel like that's not really discussed enough. The good kid who is oftentimes overlooked, and the troublesome kid gets so much attention all of the time, even if it's negative attention, but they're still, the parents are hyperfixated on them. The parents are running around after them constantly, and you're kind of just left there to your own devices because you've been the good kid and there's this expectation that you're always going to land on your feet and you're going to be okay. I think that you just need to accept that this is what it is. I don't think you're going to get that from your parents, unfortunately. What I do think you need to do is focus on the new life that you're carving out for yourself with the people that are there for you. Like, you've got your fiance. I think you're going to have to just lean into that relationship a little bit more and think about the family that you may or may not curate with your husband. Like, you and your husband, whether you have kids or not, that is your family. Like, that is your new go-to. And I just don't want you to like invest more energy on something that I personally don't think that you're going to get. I really don't. I think that they are focused on him. They're worried about him. He's in jail. They haven't really reconciled with what he's done. Their understanding of like SA and stuff like that is very different to like how we see it. Yeah, they can acknowledge that it's wrong. Like, we all know, like, even you can be dumb as a plank of bricks, you know that rape is wrong. But there's a difference between knowing something's wrong and having an understanding of like the impact and the fallout and all the rest of it. And I think that you're just seen as the good kid that's just kind of left to their own devices, and that's not right at all. You don't deserve that. You definitely deserve love and attention, and that for your feelings to be validated. I don't think you're going to get that from your parents.
Yeah. I'm of the belief that your parents are very aware of how heinous his crimes are. I think they know what he did was very, very bad. I think they just doing that thing of, hey, it's a parent's love. Like, as in, okay, cool, we know it's bad. What do you want us to do?
Yeah,
like, you can't hate your kid. You're not going to disown your kid. I don't think they would know how to even imagine disowning a kid. It's just like, it's bad, but what do you want us to do? This is the situation we're in now. It's like so many years of so many people who have gone to jail, and the parents will just lie that, oh, they're in Nigeria, or they cover their kids' backs. Because also I think a big part of it is because they think they're covering their shame. That's what they're covering. So sometimes it's little to do with the mother. If they're covering their own shame, the whole family's not talking to them. That, like, do you know what I mean? People stop, aunties and uncles are not chatting to them. Aunties and uncles know what their son did. So they kind of have to now be like, well, we have to cover his shame. We have to act like, oh, but it was just a mistake. It wasn't that bad, because what they're covering is themselves. Yeah. It's not much to do with your brother. It's much to do with how they see themselves as a parent. And I think that's what they're trying to cover now. And then it's like, even from home is telling them like, wow, this man did something horrible that has affected everybody, and you lot are just acting like it's normal. And I'm so proud of you for taking that stance. I'm so proud of you, because many people have fucked up siblings that who do fucked up things, and they're telling, but family love. No, like, some people are monsters and should be identified as monsters. And I'm not saying you shouldn't love your brother. Obviously, you've had a relationship for however long, and it's gonna hurt you as well, because it's just like, I've lost my brother. Like, as in, you've done this hideous thing. I've lost my brother, and I'm now losing my parents because they are supporting him. But I want you to know that they're supporting him is not out of lack of love for you. It's about themselves. It is absolutely about them covering their own shame. That is what they're doing at the moment. It's not because they hate you, they don't like you as a daughter. I'm of the belief they understand what it is that you're talking about. But for them to admit that what their son did, it feels like they're admitting something about themselves. And I think that's what they're avoiding, especially African parents. Their kids are such a reflection of them that they really see it as a thing of that hate and disrespect to their kid is talking about them. They are going through it. They've lost their community. People aren't chatting to them anymore. They know what their kid did was bad. They can't, but they just have to. They're saving face. Yeah, they just have to save face. Like, I can imagine the conversation that they have between them. I'm sure your mum is crying every night, but they just have to fucking save face. And what I want for you is the same way they're picking themselves, you pick yourself, babes. You pick yourself, you face your friends, you face your new family that you're going to have. You curate the family that you want around you. I think it's great that you're still checking in to make sure they're okay. Look, some of us have had conversations, nothing as near as serious as this, and it still leaves us frustrated with our parents. You're just like, you know what? And if it's a case of that, I'm just not going to bring this up with you. You know how I feel about it. I'm not going to try and convince you otherwise. You can't convince me otherwise. You know how I feel. I'm calling to check in, see that you're okay, and carry on living my life. And that's what you need to do. You need to find joy outside of this thing. Your brother has done something that's shaken your family to its very core. That is not your fault. You did nothing wrong. You didn't do anything. Yeah. These are circumstances of someone else's actions and the consequences of someone else's actions, and it's not fair. It's absolutely not fair, and that's absolutely warranted. And it's hard to have to. You can't talk to your friends about these things. And I understand the shame of like being around your fiance's family and everyone knows what your brother did.
Yeah, that must be awful.
Like, even people that don't talk to their sibling, if your sibling did some fuck shit, people be like, it was not your brother that did this. Like, that is a stain that you have to carry now as well, and it's not fair. And all I want from you to do is, not only are you stating that it's wrong, but distance yourself from it, distance your feelings from it. Like, sometimes the answer to your prayer is not that your parents see it your way. The answer to your parents is you accepting, let me have peace with this thing. I didn't do anything wrong. Separate yourself from what your brother was done. and carry on living the life that you need to live and do the things that bring you joy. That man's a monster, but that wasn't you.
Yeah,
you didn't do it.
100%. I think you do just need to live your life. Like, at what point, like, don't let him take away your freedom.
Everything,
Do you know what I mean? Like, he's got no he doesn't have his freedom, and rightly so, but don't let his actions take away yours, and like, don't become so consumed by someone else's mistake. And I'm not saying it like, you know, I'm not trying to say that it's something like, because it absolutely is not, but you didn't do it.
Exactly.
And I think so much of this stuff becomes conflated to the point where it's almost like you're taking on guilt that is just not yours to carry, unfortunately. And it is sad for your parents. I don't know how long he's been in for, but if he's just gone in, or if he's only been there a few months, they might still be in that panic phase of like wanting to help him all the time. It will ease as well. And I think that as it eases, and as, you know, he's in there longer and stuff like that, and they realize they don't have to like be doing the most, you'll get your parents back slowly but surely.
And it's absolutely right about the good kid thing. Like, we were talking about the loser siblings. Parents are going to pay more attention to the loser sibling because they're trying to fix something. When you're the good kid, they assume that you're good, you're fixed, you're fine. But this is still giving them work as parents to try to fix this and make sure he's okay and blah, 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 blah. Like, don't see it as a lesser love for you. I think sometimes it's that, like, it's because you're more okay.
Yeah.
So they leave you a bit more.
Yeah, exactly. Whew, that was heavy, Mum.
That was heavy.
I'm sorry.
And like, to the loser siblings out there, I think I'm the loser sibling.
No, you're not.
So my mum thinks I'm a loser sibling.
Does she? No, I don't know. I think there's loser and there's like a rebel.
No, it's not even a rebel. Because of my mum's gauge of success, I'm a loser sibling.
Right, okay. So she, okay.
Yeah. Well, she has her life, I have my life.
Yeah,
everybody has to be okay.
You cannot lean into all of that stuff.
Yeah.
It's not even real anyway.
Exactly.
You
But
know?
yeah, that is it.
That's all, folks.
That is it for this
That's
episode
all.
of the Receipts podcast. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yes.
It was light, it was heavy, it was fun.
Yeah, we went all around.
And again, PRs out there, sporting PRs, if you want us to report on your sporting news, please do send over your press releases of what Man City are
what
doing.
the team's doing.
And what country bought Man City, and how, which city is red and which is blue. Please keep us updated. Riveting news.
Exactly.
I've been your girl, Tolly T.
Just call me Audrey.
Bye.